Welcome back. In today's video, we're diving into the top 6 most valuable USA wheat 1 pennies in bad condition coins that are worth huge money. Let's get started. First up, the 1919 Lincoln wheat penny with a large date, no mint mark, and in extra fine condition. Let's find out what this piece of American history is worth in today's market. Before we live into the value, let's take a quick look at what makes the 1919 Lincoln wheat penny special. This penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it doesn't have a mint mark. More than 392 million of these coins were produced that year, making it a common coin in circulation back in the day. Now, let's talk about the condition. When we say extra fine, we're talking about a coin that has seen very light wear but still has sharp details, especially around Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks on the reverse. In the current coin market, this penny typically sells for around $2 to $5. However, prices can go even higher if the coin has exceptional eye appeal or is part of a well-preserved collection. Let's not forget the historical significance of this coin. 1919 was just after World War I, and the United States was going through a time of major change. This penny serves as a small, tangible piece of that era, making it more than just a coin, it's a piece of history. So, there you have it. If you own a 1919 Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition, you've got yourself a valuable coin that's worth more than its face value. Be sure to check your collection and see if you're holding on to one of these historical gems. Next up, the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark, found in damaged condition. Let's take a look at what this coin is worth in today's market. The 1942 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during a key period in US history, right in the middle of World War II. Over 657 million of these coins were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it doesn't have a mint mark. This penny features Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front and the famous wheat ears on the reverse. However, today we're looking specifically at coins that are in damaged condition. This could mean heavy wear, corrosion, or noticeable scratches, making it less appealing to collectors. Now, let's get to the big question. How much is a 1942 Lincoln wheat penny in damaged condition worth today? Well, even though it's damaged, it still has some value due to its age and historical importance. Typically, these coins sell for around 10 to 50 cents. While that may not sound like a lot, it's more than its original face value. And who knows, every penny counts, right? The price can vary based on just how damaged the coin is. If it's only lightly worn, it might fetch the higher end of that range. But if it has severe damage, like heavy scratches or corrosion, you're looking at closer to the 10-cent mark. Even though it's not in pristine condition, this coin still represents a fascinating piece of history. Minted during World War II, it was part of everyday life for Americans during one of the most challenging times in modern history. Collectors often seek these coins for their historical value as much as for their monetary worth. So while a 1942 Lincoln wheat penny in damaged condition won't make you rich, it's still worth hanging on to as a piece of history. Whether you're a collector or just curious about the value of your old coins, every coin tells a story. Next up, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with a large date D-mint mark and in fine condition. How much could this classic penny be worth in today's market? Let's find out. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which is where the D-mint mark comes from. This was during the final year of World War II, and a massive number of these coins, over 266 million, were produced in Denver alone. A penny in fine condition means the coin has circulated but still retains most of its details. You'll be able to see Lincoln's portrait clearly, but there may be moderate wear on his hair and the wheat stalks on the reverse. Now, let's talk about value. How much is a 1945 D Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition worth today? In today's coin market, this penny typically sells for around 15 to 50 cents. While it's not a high-value collector's item, it's definitely worth more than its original face value. And as always, pennies from this era can be sought after for their historical significance as well. The value can fluctuate based on a few factors. Coins with sharper details, even in fine condition, may fetch closer to the 50-cent range, while those with more wear may be worth a little less. And of course, the coin's eye appeal plays a role. Cleaner coins with minimal scratches tend to sell higher. Let's not forget the historical context. 1945 was a monumental year with the end of World War II. This penny was part of everyday life for Americans as they came together to rebuild the country post-war. Owning a coin like this is like holding a piece of history in your hands. So if you have a 1945 D Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition, it's a small but valuable part of both history and the coin collecting world. Be sure to check your collection. Every penny counts. Next up, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny with a large date D mint mark and in very fine condition. How much is this classic coin worth in today's market? Let's break it down. The 1957 Lincoln wheat penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which is why it has a D mint mark. This was one of the last years of the iconic wheat penny design before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. In terms of production, a whopping over 1.05 billion of these pennies were made in Denver in 1957, making it a very common coin. However, condition plays a huge role in its value. A coin in very fine condition means that it has moderate wear but retains strong details. You'll notice Lincoln's portrait is still well defined and the wheat stalks on the reverse are clearly visible, though they may show slight wear on the high points. Currently in the coin market, these pennies typically sell for around 10 to 20 cents. While they aren't particularly rare, their value is still higher than face value, and they're always a nice addition to any collection due to their historical significance. Of course, the final value can vary based on a few factors. Coins that are particularly clean, with minimal scratches or discoloration, might fetch closer to 20 cents, while those with more visible wear might be closer to the 10-cent mark. Additionally, coins with good eye appeal, ones that haven't been heavily circulated, are often more attractive to buyers, even if they aren't in mint condition. Beyond the dollar value, let's not forget the historical importance of the 1957 wheat penny. This was during the post-World War II era, and the United States was experiencing major changes. Coins like this were part of everyday life for millions of Americans and serve as a reminder of an iconic era in U.S. history. So, there you have it. While the 1957 D Lincoln wheat penny in very fine condition may not be worth a fortune, it's still a valuable part of history that's worth more than its face value. Check your collections, you might just have one of these hidden treasures. Next up, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with a large date, no mint mark, and an unusual black color shade, all in extra fine condition. How much is this fascinating coin worth in today's market? Let's find out. The 1944 Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most common wheat pennies, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it doesn't have a mint mark. In fact, over 1.4 billion of these pennies were produced in 1944, right in the middle of World War II. But what makes this particular penny interesting is its black color shade. Sometimes, pennies develop this unusual color due to environmental factors like exposure to heat, chemicals, or even oxidation over time. While it doesn't add much to the value, it certainly makes it stand out in a collection. In extra fine condition, the coin has light wear but retains sharp details, especially on Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks on the reverse. The high points may show slight wear, but overall, the coin is in great shape for its age. Now, let's talk about the value. A 1944 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, in extra fine condition, typically sells for around 25 to 50 cents in today's market. While the black color shade doesn't necessarily increase its value, it does make it a unique piece that could catch a collector's eye. The value of this penny can fluctuate depending on a few factors. Coins with particularly strong details, clean surfaces, and minimal scratches are more likely to fetch a higher price, possibly closer to the 50-cent mark. The black color shade may not boost the value significantly, but it could attract interest from collectors looking for something a little different. The 1944 penny also carries a lot of historical significance. Minted during World War II, this coin was produced at a time when the United States was ramping up its wartime efforts. These pennies were part of everyday life during a pivotal moment in history, which makes them interesting not just to collectors, but to history buffs as well. So there you have it. While the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny, in extra fine condition and a black color shade, won't make you rich, it's still a valuable and intriguing part of history that's worth more than its face value. Be sure to check your collections, you might have one of these unique pieces. Next up today, we're talking about a 1952 Lincoln wheat penny, with a large date and a D mint mark, but here's the catch, it's in full damage condition. Curious about its value in today's market, despite the damage, let's break it down. The 1952 Lincoln wheat penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which is why it has a D mint mark. More than 746 million of these pennies were produced that year, making them relatively common. However, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. In this case, we're talking about a fully damaged coin, which could mean anything from heavy scratches and dents to corrosion or wear that has completely altered its appearance. While damage severely impacts a coin's value, there's still some interest in it, especially if it's historically significant. Now, let's get to the big question. What's a 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny in full damage condition worth in today's market? Unfortunately, due to the severe damage, these coins don't hold much monetary value. In most cases, a fully damaged 1952 D wheat penny will only be worth around 2 to 5 cents, slightly above its face value, depending on how extensive the damage is. However, it's important to remember that even damaged coins can hold sentimental or historical value for collectors, especially if they're part of a larger collection. The main factor driving the low value is the condition. Damage significantly reduces a coin's appeal to collectors. If the date, mint mark, and major details are still visible, it might fetch closer to the 5-cent range. But if the coin is heavily worn or corroded, it will likely be closer to 2 cents. Remember, a penny in better condition, even from 1952, would typically sell for more, especially in very fine or extra fine condition. Even though the 1952 wheat penny in damaged condition isn't worth much, it still carries some historical weight. It was minted during the post-World War II era, a time of significant economic growth in the US. For collectors who appreciate history, this coin represents a piece of America's past, even in its worn state. So while the 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny in full damage condition won't make you rich, it's still an interesting piece of history worth holding onto for sentimental reasons. Who knows, it might just be a conversation starter in your collection. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell for more coin collecting tips and updates. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.